Welcome back. Let's talk graffiti. Can graffiti art reduce the concerns of economic instability? Well, Craig Dershowitz certainly does think it can. A New Yorker. Craig is here with his crew of global graffiti artists from Portugal, Spain, France, and together with their South African counterparts, they'll be using public space to convey universal messages of peace, empathy, and tolerance. Tomorrow, they'll run a workshop with grade 7 learners from City Kids and primary school, from where they'll teach about the therapeutic power of creativity. Craig joins us in studio now, and he's joined by one of the artists, Fernando Romero, a New Yorker with French-Dominican roots. Good to have both of you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Craig, but originally, I mean, I say you're a New Yorker, but originally you're from Israel? Or you still from Israel?
No, I'm from New York.
So
but
you're
I do,
100% New
100% Brooklyn, born and raised.
Okay, but your pride, I mean, there's the artistforisrael.org. I mean, talk to me about the development of that.
Sure, we beautify, protect, and heal communities that have been ravaged by war and conflict in Israel and around the world. So coming from Brooklyn, I came from a housing project there, a really socioeconomically disadvantaged area, and we saw what art had the ability to do. It absolutely, my friends and I escaped that community because of our artistic abilities and because it gave us a chance to see the rest of the world.
Fantastic. So, I mean, art was your key to escape.
Absolutely. And myself and a number of friends as well.
Amazing. What about you? What's your story, Fernando?
Born and raised New Yorker. You know, Craig and I know each other for a number of years before Artists for Israel. So we always had that great connection. We both come from the same place. You know, I grew up in the projects as well in New York. And art was always my stress therapy. It's what, you know, gave me a voice. It's what got me out of, you know, the norm. And it just gave me hope of, you know, where my work could be someday. Yeah. And, you know, through what we do, we've been able to, you know, go to Israel a few times and, you know, around the world and do a lot of good. So,
so the whole message behind what you do is in a nutshell, it's bringing a message of peace through graffiti. Yeah, is that, in a nutshell, what you're all about?
It's about peace, it's about unity, it's about showing that we're all really one and unified. We tend to think of politics as black and white. People have very strong opinions about Israel, about South Africa, and around the world. And artists see things differently. They see all different shades of color. And so we like to bring that forth and show people that there's a lot of nuance to how we view the world. Yeah.
I mean, how does it heal? When you talk about graffiti, I know that when you arrive in a country, I mean, when you look on the walls and you do see a lot of just normal, average people going out and writing how they're feeling through graffiti. But in terms of healing, how does graffiti heal?
It's a way to, you know, sort of distract you from the norm. You know, I personally love it. I arrived and I'm on the highway headed to the hotel and I'm just like, this is beautiful. There's a sense of community here. I feel at home when I see that. But on the other side, you know, it makes you forget about situations and it helps you just, you know, just think out the box. You know, we did a lot of work in Sderot, and when we beautified these shelters, they became, you know, these freestanding sculptures, this piece of art that people could now, you know, you look at it and it is what it is, but you view it as something different. And it almost makes you forget of where you are. Yeah. So it's a healing therapy in that sense, where it just, you know, you let your imagination go. And
it's beautiful. I mean, we're looking at some of the pieces on the screen at the moment, so viewers can get an understanding of what the work that you do is. But now you're here, you're in South Africa, and you've got this project that you're running with City Kids. It's an amazing school in the inner city here in Johannesburg. This workshop, talk to us about it, and how did this whole thing come about? Oh,
we're so excited to be part of it. We've heard such wonderful things about these kids. Yeah. We're working with the South African Zionist Federation, and they made the connection for us, and they said, if you want to see what Johannesburg is all about, if you want to see children that will just touch your heart, you have to go to the inner city kids school. And so we said, I spoke to the artist, and I mean, within half a second, the answer was, yes, let's do it. So we have a couple of projects we're going to be doing with them. We're going to be demonstrating graffiti techniques. The beauty of graffiti is that anyone can do it. Yeah. It's a very democratic, it's a very accessible art form that can instantly change a community. So we're going to show them how to do that. We're going to talk to them about how to express themselves through the pictures, how to turn their words into something visual. And then we're also going to be doing some art therapy with them, giving them a sense of how to self-heal when situations become rough.
Yeah. You mentioned something very interesting, that graffiti is very democratic.
Indeed.
When you arrive in a country and you don't see graffiti on any wall, wherever, How does it make you feel? I mean, what's the first thing that goes through your mind?
It's scary.
Really?
There's no voice because, you know, graffiti it's the voice of the unheard. So it's like the voice of the ghetto. And when you see something, you know that there's a presence and a voice. When the absence of it is there, I get a little bit worried. It doesn't matter what it's said. It could be political, religious, or just 'cause. But if that's missing for me, I get a little bit worried.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, imagine you walking down the street and, you know, instead of seeing graffiti tags, it's, you know, signatures of great artists, Michelangelo, Picasso, Renoir. Everyone would look at graffiti differently. So graffiti is just essentially signatures.
Yeah. I mean, if we have to just finally, as we wrap up, I mean, some of the greatest graffiti artists around the world, I mean, who are we looking at? Who is really putting their mark on graffiti?
Ski.
I mean, there's,
We've got one sitting with us right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of artists that do a lot of amazing work around the world, and you know, a lot of credit is due to them for laying the groundworks for others to be able to fill in them shoes. So,
I mean, we just came back from a number of trips with so many names.
Yeah.
Bellin, Don Rimex, Murrow, Chemist, and of course the guys with us on this trip.
Yeah.
Paris, Dora One.
Yep, You Are New York.
You Are New York.
Yep.
I mean, this is such a renaissance of graffiti and street art these days. We're in a terrific time period.
Can we come out? Are you going to be doing a public showcasing of graffiti? Can people come and watch you at all in Joburg? I mean, are you only going to be in Joburg?
We're going to be in Cape Town as well.
In Cape Town as well.
We're going to be on Witt's campus.
Okay.
We're going to be at the Inner City Kids School, which we'd love for people to come and be part of that.
Great.
And we'll even help others come paint, and we'll make it a big community event.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in Cliptown. And who knows where else we're popping up.
Fantastic.
Graffiti can't be stopped.
You're around. You have arrived.
You'll see
and
us.
we're going to see your mark. We'll see your mark on walls around the city. So nice to meet both of you.
Thank you
so
very
much for
Thank
coming.
you for having us.
And continue enjoying the hugs.
Yes.
South Africans hand out.
Big hugger.
They are. We're big huggers here.
I
we love
it.
The kids love it. Guys, thank you so much. What a pleasure to have met you. Let me just give you these websites. I think they've been on the screen. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been double looking at these, doing some double takes at these pictures on the screen, thinking this can't possibly be graffiti. This looks like a photograph, but it's not. These are graffitis. So the one is artistsforisrael.org and then healingartskits.org. Get onto those websites, have a look, and you can learn a lot more. So you'll be able to find out more about what the guys are doing. Again, let me just thank you for being here. Craig Dershowitz, CEO, Artists for Israel, and Fernando Romero, graffiti artist, New Yorker with French Dominican roots. Thank you so much. We'll never forget those roots.
Thank you.
We will not forget the roots.
Indeed.
All right, let's take a break here on the program. News at 7 after this. Do stay tuned.